is October 15th. The Yankees win both games at home. Judge homers. They're up 2-0. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steaming hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. We got BBD producing in the corner. The Yankees are 2 wins away from a World Series appearance. They take game 2. Judge stamps the victory with the 2-run homer. Loudest eruption of the stadium of the season. Jake's going to burn the game. We're going to give out our 3 to 6 stars, talk about everything we need to talk about. It's going to be a great time.
Jim, David, I had people texting me about potential stars tonight. So we'll see.
Let's not let them muddy up it's a tight vote.
Get ready for that. Woo! Guys, I don't know. I'm normally the poker face guy, and I was kind of letting it out last episode. Things look really good for the Yankees, and this game like epitomized it. I guess we'll get into, Cole's weird inning there in the 5th, but outside of that, we're cooking with gas. And I believe in baseball gods, and I believe in sports.
And I believe in pink.
I believe in pink. I believe in competitiveness. I believe in luck. The Yankees have the guards outgunned. Let's see what happens the rest of the series. Let's see what Clark has in another big game. Let's see what Heel in a postseason debut. The bullpen over 3 days. Yanks are up 2-0. First time they've been up 2-0 in an ALCS since 2009. So the vibes are really high, and I think
And I believe in being strong when everything seems to be going wrong.
The biggest thing that everyone wanted to click was the big man.
Mm-hmm. Been waiting, and I believe that tomorrow's another day, and I believe in miracles.
And all that's brought to you by SeatGeek. Make sure you guys go to SeatGeek. Thank them for being a part of our postseason run, hopefully a special one. Yanks 15% off any tickets at SeatGeek. And some people were talking about potentially getting tickets to the
WS.
Could be the final series this year. And you're going to want the Yanks 15 code. You're going to want that. So go use code Yanks15 at SeatGeek, 15% off any tickets at SeatGeek. Whether you're a new customer or not, if you've used the code or not, it doesn't matter. This is what SeatGeek is giving you to go see somewhere that has seats. Yanks15, click the link.
Here's a little warning.
Yeah, do it.
We're feeling good.
This is Talkin' Yanks.
It's Talkin' Yanks. If you're here and you're not a Yankees fan, prepare to feel so obnoxious, because that's what I'm going to do to you. All right? Because I don't want to be proper and I don't want to be prim.
Right.
And I want to be happy. And I'm feeling great, Jake. And I don't care if whatever happens, but it ain't going to happen. Yanks look good. Guardians look allergic to the baseball. Better at bats today.
How about this?
A lot of better at bats from the guards today. But fielding wise, they were poo-poo.
The Yankees have won 5 out of their 6 playoff games. The Yankees look good. There's not a lot of big question marks. The Guardians have looked bad, and they have question marks. Like, if you wanted to be professional about it, the later this episode goes, it's not. Because, God, the Yanks look really good.
Still some blemishes, but they look good.
But they look good, and it's tough to not have 0 blemishes, but the blemishes ain't hurting.
Under the current 2-3-2 format, teams winning the first 2 games at home have gone on to take the series 44 out of 55 times, which is 80%. Thanks, Sarah Langs, for that stat. And they're the best team on the road. So, again, setting ourselves up here, but I'd rather set myself up and enjoy the happiness than shy away from the feelings for fear of some supposed jinx.
And we've got in the Talkin Yanks history, this is, what episode are we at?
1131.
1131. This is the best. You could argue this is the best position the Yankees have been in. 2017 Houston, some interesting stuff going on there.
2019 Houston, 1 win away. Technically, 1 win away. Well,
Kinda,
no, 2. It was game 6. It was game 6. Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, I
Almost
think
got to one
this
win
is
away.
the best they've looked. I think the Vegas numbers that they don't play around with money would tell you that. So yeah, this is going to be a hype episode. Guardian fans that are tuning into this, maybe looking to get angry.
Don't listen.
I think they're gonna.
That's
gonna get
terrible.
angry.
I believe laughing is the best calorie burner.
Probably better calorie burners.
I mean, I'm just quoting Audrey Hepburn.
Best medicine.
To come at her, okay?
I would.
I believe that happy girls are the prettiest girls. I don't know, Audrey. That's dated.
That's dated. The
That's
whole society's
dated.
changed.
That's dated.
And I do want to say one more thing before we really get into it.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of you that come in, come out. I get it. But subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. And it's going to be hopefully a big week or two, week or three for these Yanks.
I'm excited. Let's burn this one and remember it in all its glory.
Okay. Cleveland's number 1 starter, Danny Tanner Bybee, pitching in front of a full house in the Bronx against the Yanks, and their ace, Garrett Hole, would try to put Cleveland in a 2-0 hole. Aaron Judge on the back of milk cartons, but here he is in the first. Brian Rocchio, drop that ball. 1-0 Yanks on an error. Woof. Bottom 2. Teach me how to doogie. Can you teach me how to doogie? RBI double. Hey, has anyone seen Aaron Judge? Intentional walk to Soto to face him. Sack fly is properly rated here as the captain seems to click off. It's 3-0 Yanks. An ugly 5th for Cole as he gets pulled. 4.2, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 hits. Woof. Bailed out by Holmes, Heel, and Canely in the 6th. How about the fortitude by Rizzo to make it 4-2 with his double? Oh, captain, my captain, they're standing on tables in the Bronx as the big fella goes yard weave. Gives the not underrated J-Ram a homer. Who cares? Yanks take game 2, 6-3 final.
Never stood on the desk before. We can really get up here. It's a tall ceiling.
It's daunting. It's one of your first times you've taken off your shoes for an episode, and now that's all everyone's talking about in the comments.
Well, to be fair, you and Beebs all have your shoes off.
It's hot in here.
It's getting hot.
And we were looking for a way to cool ourselves up like, normal men
No, I
do.
said I'm going to lose some layers as we go. But
Right.
this is my dad's.
I threw out the shoe thing. You said it was a great idea.
Oh, I loved it. This is my dad's 2000
Immediately.
World Series jacket I took out of the closet. To much applause when I walked in the office.
It's a good jacket.
It's nice. But it's
There's nobody who doesn't like that.
yesterday in the office it was an iceberg, so I was like, I'll bring this. That'll look good on stream. And today was a sauna.
Now it's warm.
Yeah. You think I should sit back down or do the whole show up here?
Whatever you want. You look a little stiff.
Yeah.
You look a little stiff.
I can loosen up.
But it's
up
whatever you want. If you loosen up and you're not loose,
Here. Oh, Joe's waving goodbye. Not sure what's going on.
He likes it. He says bye, guys, and he says subscribe again.
You
He
say
said,
bye, B?
Go Yankees.
All right. So there were some dour, sour, lack of power topics in this
Okay.
game. Judge
segment.
comes up with 2 on in the first. Soto and Glaber, they both have an .833 on base percentage in the first inning.
That's good.
That's 5 out of the 6 games Glaber and Soto have got on base. That's crazy. Yeah. Judge has yet to get a hit in the first inning. He pops up and Rocchio cannot field it. And I don't even think it was like a wind ball. He does this little jump as he's coming down with it. So that scores the first run. And again, it feels like the Yankees are getting runs they don't deserve. Right. I'm tired of that narrative. I'd like a better first inning. I know we're up 2-0. We're in a great spot. We're peacocking. We're dancing. Pavos, shout out. But I'd like that not to be the case in the first inning.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm gonna take free runs if teams give them to us, but
It's true.
yeah, well, we'll get to the Judge thing, and not to throw him under the bus, but Judge, Wells, and Stan. So Stan, who's been incredible, he's also hitless in the first.
Yeah.
So the guys following are 1 and 2 hitters who have been doing an amazing job in the first inning. The guys behind them haven't, and that's kind of where there's been this lackluster feeling of sorts of like, I don't know, like that. It feels like this Yankees team should have a little more to it, and we're starting to wonder, are we being greedy Yankee fans? But no, you'd love to see an early knockout punch, and the Yankees have been set up for a couple, and it just hasn't happened.
Not only the first inning, another Sarah Lang tweet. She's crushing it tonight. I like her tweets when the Yankees win because just a bunch of cool facts about it. The Yankees have a .490 on base percentage leading off an inning this postseason.
Like that.
That's crazy.
Started up.
Second highest by any team in the first 6 games of a postseason behind only the 1965 Dodgers, which no one even remembers them or cares about them at all. So
they're remembered as a bad team in baseball history.
Good at leading off. Highest double plays ever. So that's good. But yeah, it was still frustrating to see Judge not get one there. But then the second inning, who got all the hits in the second inning for the Yanks?
Everyone. In the second inning, it was Volpe with a leadoff single. That 2-strike pitch, he extended his arms, ball off the plate.
That was awesome.
Rizzo singles. Kind of a line drive single. And then Verdugo, we were on the live stream, we were talking about it because he was taking fastballs away, and it kind of seemed like they were almost out of his reach, or like, what could he do with it? Next pitch, he gets another fastball away, kind of golfs it down the line. And
can you, Beeps, you showed the Volpe hit? Can you show that again? And then the Verdugo one? And if you're watching on YouTube, I didn't really put this together, but this is a good pitch by Bibee. His face, he does a double take, like, wait, what the fuck? Volpe extended the zone and was able to barrel it and throw it up the middle. Like, that's not a bad pitch. And then it's a great swing by Volpe. And then the Verdugo is similar boat, man. It's a 1-1 count. And that's a little off the plate, but that's a great approach by Verdugo. Those are 2 really good swings by bat-to-ball guys. And sometimes they get away from that approach of just barrel it and put it where it's going. So, I didn't have that in my brain. I was gonna breeze over those 2 swings, but seeing Beebs just showing, like, wait, that's Bibee's. He made some pitches. The Yanks just really. Those are 2 good swings.
Playoff at bats.
Yeah.
From Volpe, Verdugo. And that bottom of the lineup, Volpe 2 hits and a walk, Rizzo 2 hits, Verdugo 1 hit and a walk. So they did their part tonight. And I think a lot of that was fairly early on, that there was some split, like the second time through the lineup, that it was like, ooh, bottom of the lineup's doing their part.
Yeah. Garrett was good the first 3 innings. The third inning, he get in trouble at all?
Let's see. Garrett Cole, he has a 1-2-3 first. Boom. Naylor with a nice piece of hitting.
2 for 2 off of him.
Lead off single, but then Cole locked in and was nasty. Third inning, there was a little action on the bases. Rocchio hits a single. Kwan walks. 4-pitch walk to Kwan. So that was kind of the first, okay, Garrett. That's not exactly Garrett Cole.
I didn't like that because that's the first time we really saw him bring out the sinker, which I'm interested if he had talked about that in his post game because he didn't throw that on. And I was like, wait, you're that worried or trying to play games, or maybe I might see these guys twice in a series. I don't know. That was interesting that he threw a sinker. I want to see his quotes on it if he has any.
Fourth inning, it's Naylor again. Another first pitch. This time a first pitch fastball that he lines up. Lane Thomas infield single, and everyone starts looking around for a second like, okay, we've seen this before. Are the Guardians going to show up this inning? Like, speed, put the ball in play, make something happen. He gets Brennan on a chopper. They basically intentionally walk Jimenez. That at the time we were a little unsure because he 4-pitch walked Quan the inning before. So you're like, maybe this is wild. But they did this to Jimenez later. As well. And this was a big Guardians moment in this game that we may have said some rude stuff on the stream later. But they pinch hit David Fry, who's like their currently, he hit second against lefties, so you saw him against Rodon. And he's like their pinch hit weapon off the bench for them currently.
And at that point, they had already taken out their starter after 4 outs. They had already intentionally walked Soto for Judge, and then they pinch hit in the fourth. So you're like, oh, shit. Guards know this is a big one.
Yeah.
They know they don't want to lose this game.
David Fry, first pitch foul out.
That's about as rough as. And then he comes out of the game because they need to defensive replace because it's the catcher spot.
And then I half forgot about this one. Garrett in that fourth inning, he gets into a battle with Rocchio. He gets him 0-2. Ball 1, 4 foul balls.
Yeah, he was spoiling everything.
4 foul balls, a ball to get it to 2-2, and then Garrett throws a high knuckle curve because
strike looking.
Jimenez was fouling off the knuckle curves low to get him frozen on the 9-pitch strikeout. So that led us to a Garrett Cole, like, okay, there had been some signs, and like the pitch count was starting to sneak up to a degree, but there was still a 0 on the board, and it was like, okay, like whatever. Top of the lineup, Quan single, Manzardo single, Ramirez walk. Naylor sack fly, which leaves a base open, and then he walks Lane Thomas, who was essentially going to be his last batter because he was the only righty in the lineup, so they gave him Lane Thomas. So yeah, that was pretty ugly.
Yeah. He seemed to not know what he had anymore, Cole. Like, I couldn't, like, it was hard to understand. The velos were odd at some points.
Dude, I think, this is an opinion, so that's why I started, I think. Nice, Jake. Dude, you were talking about it for Bybee on the pregame show. I think whatever era of front office pitching analytics we're in, they think confusion's the way.
Yeah, throw pitches you don't think they're going to throw.
You mentioned Tanner Bybee had changed his whole pitch mix before the playoffs. Cole threw a lot of sinkers tonight. Like, we had, people were trying to call us out, and we're like, no, like, agree it's weird, but he's throwing sinkers. So I don't know. I don't know if it's due confuse the opponent or just get weird or whatever, but
when Clay comes in with the bases loaded, I mean, think about how much that would have been a feared spot in the regular season. And I know a guy named Joe's McFly that was really terrified. He gets a ground ball to Rizzo, and you're hoping he can get it at 2-ball, but it's hit way too slow. So you do have to concede the run. You get the out. Then with first and third and 2 outs, totally pitch around Jimenez. Like, he throws 4 sinkers, which is what Clay throws, all inside, not really there. And you're like, is this the Clay loses control Clay? But actually, I think that's exactly where he wanted to throw those balls.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to get to Hedges, who is a catcher-first catcher that it's his first at-bat of the game at that point, right? Because they just did the Fry pinch hit. And with Hedges, he gets strike looking, then he spoils that sinker. They go sweeper way out of the zone, and that's where Wells makes a great block with his bare arm, gets an injury, like timeout almost.
Yeah.
But that was way off the plate. Wells with a great block.
Yeah, wherever you guys like to view like the pitching dots of at bats, that Clay Holmes sweeper dot is in a spot that
it's hilarious.
It almost looked like I normally look on the ESPN page, and it looks like it's in the next pitch's swing area.
Yeah. Yeah, it's way out there. And then gets him swinging on a 98 sinker. So that was huge from Clay, man. Like, absolutely huge. He's been awesome. And I got to say, I thought in our preview, we said that Tim Hill might have a large part in this series because they have so many lefties.
Yeah.
And he gets the job done real well. Tim Hill, he goes in the 7th, and we're like, okay, he's going to get J-Ram because, he goes in the 6th and gets Rocchio, Quan, Manzardo. We thought they were going to bring Canely in for J-Ram. But then we were trying to map it out. And like, well, they have so many lefties and Weaver. We only want them to throw one inning. You're going to have to. So it's like, oh, I thought Weaver and Canely might split the 8 and 9. They're like, no, Hill and Canely will split the 7 and 8. And they do that. And he gets J-Ram to ground out on what was it, 2 pitches? That was huge. That inning in the 7th there, it's a 2-run game, and J-Ram's leading off against Tim Hill. J-Ram's supposed to get the better of him there, I think. Like in that spot, and it's 2 pitches, it's a ground out. Jazz makes a nice play, and then he gets another ground out to Jazz, who's shifted way over on Naylor, and that's where Jazz does the bounce pass, and then Tim Hill's out of the game. Big applause to Tim Hill. Tim
Hill has been great for the Yankees. Like, stop. Like, no for a sidewinder, no for an guy that throws 87. Like, Tim Hill has been great for the Yankees. And yeah, it's, the irony that he gave up their first earned run of the postseason. But yeah, he was massive in this game, that he kept other conversations off the table. It was, they got the Rizzo run the inning before that you wonder if they would have done Tim Hill and J-Ram. They could have. I don't know. And yeah, if this was a Guardian show, it's not. Sorry. Buns. That Ramirez ball, he got that pretty clean, but it was right at him.
Yeah.
So that's none of my business at this point. So
Canely comes in to face Lane Thomas, a righty, and I think they pitched around him, too, with Canely. I think the Yankees are choosing their spots against this Guardians team. I don't think they did against the Royals that much, where they're like, you chase or you get walked, and we're just going to go with the next guy. Because then he gets the Brennan, who they picked on all game, and he just attacks him in the zone with a changeup first pitch, and then right under the zone, and then he's in the zone for strike 3, and then he's in the zone for the ground out. So I do think that was a little bit of a bring that lefty up.
Yeah, I think Canely, his first 2 pitches were non-competitive. The rest of the at-bat kind of was that, and we saw Canely's first playoff outing was kind of the same.
Mixed in some 4 seams.
But yeah, I think they were all right going to Brennan, which was changeup only. And again, the Clay Holmes outing, that was the only sweeper he threw, that bouncer to Wells.
Yeah.
Everything
and
else was
almost got Hedges to swing at it.
He almost did.
So then the big inning comes where they go to Gaddis, who's been great for them, nasty. And they already burned Cade Smith earlier, who's also been amazing. Gaddis has been good. Glaber opens up with a single, just a block the ball single.
Playoff baseball.
Yeah. That's what the guards were doing a little bit in that Cole inning. And then Soto flied out, and Judge comes up. Awful swing at a slider away. Then takes the slider away. I think he knows he's getting a fastball. It's high in the zone. It's the second highest pitch he's hit for a home run ever. And he gets underneath it still. Well, I mean, yeah, because it's high. But it just keeps going. We didn't know if it was going to go. It kept going. And that is the relief and the eruption everyone's been waiting for.
Yeah, and I guess, well, elation. And the stadium's popping off, and I think if you weren't dreaming big stuff, I think you started dreaming big stuff when you saw that. But I think that the thing that was weird about it, we see all these majestic homers from Judge. We see too many 450s that it's like, all right, that this wasn't his best swing. And it was kind of weird because I think Judge has had better swings on balls that have just hit bad parts of the bat. They're there's been a couple Judge's swings where you do the lean for a second because you're like, wait, that was his good swing. This kind of wasn't his good swing. Like you said, it was the second highest ball he's ever hit. That I think that was weird to the eye. And the fact that he's been in a funk, everyone was like, I don't think so. And the outfielder was drifting along the wall, which is the worst. But yeah, when that ball dropped.
Home run in 24 ballparks. Can you guess the ballparks is not a home run?
Okay.
414 feet.
Is Fenway on there? Is that the triangle? Okay.
Yeah. Well, big wall, too.
Yeah.
The triangle is not that deep, actually. It's a tricky thing.
I think it's in the try. That's let's see. How many ballparks? 6?
6.
Got it, because it doesn't really care about wind. Old Houston, no. Comerica?
Comerica Park, yep.
Okay.
And then two of your teams.
Yeah, Colorado's always a lie because that
Coors.
it would be out in Coors.
Yeah. Ball flies.
Like, that's not. And Arizona, like the ball
Chase
flies
Field.
in Arizona.
Globe Life, Minute Maid.
Globe Life, I believe. Minute Maid I had as a maybe.
Yeah.
Stuff.
But that was huge because that's their reliever, you know. I mean, not obviously Clase is their closer, but they burned everyone, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
they treat it as a do or die. And Smith, who I think he's their 2 behind Class A, who we haven't seen Class A yet.
so they died.
And Smith pitched well. Heron is kind of their number 1 lefty. He had a good inning, but
Eli Morgan had the best inning. He blew through Judge and Wells and then Stanton, and that was like, oh, fuck. That was maybe the lowest point of this
6-pitch inning.
6-pitch inning from Eli Morgan, and then they took him out. Isn't he a guy that has length?
So, again, if this was talking Guardians, it's not. Buns. Eli Morgan kind of wasn't a part of their circle of trust, but he got them a massive out in the Tigers game that like helped them advance in this series. And I think he just got boxed out because the rest of their bullpen was so good this year. But yeah, I think if this was talking guards, they'd be like, hey, this is playoff baseball. Morgan has been much more of a guy for us at this point than Sobrowski. Sobrowski's the one that got pumped by Stan. He did. Pumped. See the Stanton post game with his muscles just like extra?
Yeah, it was good. He's a strong guy.
A lot of muscle.
Wait, who got what pitcher was it where they threw the 92 fastball and then they doubled it up, 3-1, 92 fastball, it was like nothing, and they doubled it up and they got a hit. Who was that?
Let's see.
Yankees batter got the hit. Was that Jazz's? That was Jazz's double.
Jazz is on Sobrowski, yes.
Yeah. So that's actually that inning. The Morgan inning happened.
Yes.
Hill gets through the 6th, but it's a 1-run game. Jazz leads off with a double. Jazz gets picked off. Boone talked about that in his postgame presser. That sucked. Volpe with a good at-bat to walk. Rizzo then saves his bacon with another nice hit. But then Rizzo gets out trying to advance on a pass ball. And I looked at the wide angle, and no one was covering third. Like, J-Ram was like way back. So I think Volpe in his head, or Rizzo in his head was, hey, a pass ball here.
Right.
If I have a good lead, I can get there because J-Ram's got to converge too, so the catcher doesn't have a target. And then he didn't commit to it. Yeah. And then he stopped. I understand. It's still bad. I'm not excusing it, but I just kind of see there was some predetermination in his brain about because of where J-Ram was. I want to hear this. Do you have the audio for this, Beebs? Sterling's call on it?
A bouncer. And Rizzo is going to be picked off.
Oh, no.
He's in the middle between second and third. Hedges now throws to second. On the way to third, back to second, back to third, tagged out, end of inning. Boy, if that wasn't the Yankees, that's what they do. Run the bases like drunks. Well, Glaber will lead off the next inning.
Got himself there. Yeah. Rizzo, kind of fun. If he Machado'd that last throw a little more and just got a little more inside, that ball was pretty close to hitting him. That would have been like Guardians would have just got on the plane at that point. Tough inning. Yeah, Jazz was trying to be electric, and that's the part of Jazz we loved was he was electric. Like, we hadn't seen a player play like that in so long, and I think the postseason juice is a little.
Well, Boone had a quote about it, and Boone's like, it was a called double steal.
I'm just curious, based on these last 2 days, would you say that you're content with the performance the team delivered or, in these first two? Are you happy with it? Are you enthused by it? Like, where are you at, given some of the the sloppy base running things that happened today?
It's about getting wins. Like, I mean, we're in the postseason. I mean, those things are going to happen. We're going for a double steal. If he gets thrown out at third, you don't say anything, but he got picked off doing it. So it's going to happen. We're not going to not be aggressive in certain situations. Try and guard against it as best we can. And then Riz just had a funky read on what he thought kind of ended up going to the backstop. So, I feel overall we're playing pretty well.
I actually really like knowing that it was a double steal, because in my head, I'm like, Jazz, you're already in scoring position. And if he's just trying to get the third on his own, and Boone could just be covering for him, but getting Volpe to scoring position for Rizzo, I don't hate that.
Yeah, that's where I wasn't as, like that play, Jazz he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Like, you have Jazz and Volpe on. Rizzo, we're still, and this is playoff ball, that Rizzo's looked fantastic. Like, Rizzo's looked the best he looked all year. But, I was wondering if Rizzo would even throw the hands up, because, like, Rizzo can bunt. You've got your two speediest players. If you get them to second and third, like, I think that's in play. Where the other thing with Rizzo, if he hits a ball on the ground, there's a good chance it's a double play. So I think the Yankees base runners, well, double steal, you got your two guys that you can do it with, really.
Yeah, I don't hate that call, to be honest.
Yeah.
With Rizzo up.
Jazz, Sobrowski gave one more head turn. If he didn't, I think Jazz steals third easily, and we're like, dude, how about these Yankees? But hopefully, and okay, maybe this is where some more of the peacocking comes out, because I feel like we've been, like, serious and tough about it. Like, hey, put that as a learning lesson for Jazz. You got caught. Don't do it again. Same with Luke Weaver giving up the homer. Like, end your scoreless streak so that doesn't become a thing. Smart baseball.
Dude, the Weave did come in. We didn't really want that, but he did.
He did.
And he gives up a homer to J-Ram. And I'm serious when I say I would much rather find out that J-Rams can handle that inside changeup in a 6-2 game than a 3-2 game with Weaver pitching. Yeah. So, hey, next time, you can't beat him there. That's a nice lesson learned. There's winning and there's learning. Oh. And on that pitch, Weaver learned something.
Okay. Winning and there's learning. Oh, yeah.
There's two more videos I want to play because I'm in the mood right now. I think a lot of Yankees fans, yeah, show me the post game. I want to hear what they're saying.
Sure.
And I've learned my lesson. I can't do on-field interviews.
Right.
They're boring.
That's not.
This one's 39 seconds, and they're asking Judge how he felt. I'm guessing he's going to say nothing of substance, and it's going to be all positive because there's no way this is an honest answer, which it's fine. I'm not mad at him about it, but there's no way.
I'm mad at you.
When you see the Guardians walk Soto in front of you, obviously the stakes are high. It's the ALCS. Do you take that personally, that they'd rather face you in that moment?
No, it's win or go home. Everything's on the line here. So it's just about you got to come up in that spot. That spot, less than two, bases loaded. I'm trying to get something out to the outfield or drive some runs in. And, luckily we were able to get one run there and just pass it along. But, every out, every inning, the first inning, everything's important. So, they're trying to grab a couple outs there with the double play in that situation. But, we were able to thrash out a run.
When you see
that is such a lie. And and I'm fine. He doesn't have to be honest. Listen to, did you hear Mark Vientos, who hit a grand slam? They walked Lindor to get to him.
Took that personally.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I took that personally. And there's no way Judge didn't fucking take that personally, dude. Because it was so very personal.
Around the Mets here, they call you Swaggy V. When Francisco Lindor is walked intentionally in front of you, 2 outs, bases loaded, were you feeling swaggy or insulted?
To be honest with you, I took it personal. I was like, okay, you want me up to the plate, I'm going to try to drive in a run.
Very personal. Judge is slumping and Soto's doing well.
You saw Volpe had a great reaction on the bench.
Yeah, it was funny.
He's like, "Oh my God, they're actually gonna do that." And yeah, man,
Disco J in the chat says, "I think Judge legit has no personality." Very untrue. There's clips of when the dugout was mic'd up back in 1920. He would walk back and forth in the dugout, being like, "We're the fucking closer killers. We're the sale killers." And he's a fucking trash talker. You ask anyone that's like shares a dugout with him, they're like, "Yeah, no, he's one of the biggest trash talkers there is." Like in a good natured sports way. They
doesn't
said
do it in interviews.
They said every time Jeter would walk back from the dugout and they'd ask Jeter, like, "What's this guy got?" Jeter would go, "Nothing. Got nothing." And he's very much like that. He just doesn't share it in the interviews because he thinks he can't, but he can.
get him a ring. He'll open up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was man. We we have a lot of Utes that work at this office. That 09 is the World Series they have, and even like our guy Mike Cole that helps out socials and graphics. He was like, I was 9, and it's like, okay, too young, get out of here. But postseasons have a storyline, and it's the DVD that we used to joke about, and now people are joking again that like, bro, when this again, slight offense here, I'll admit it. This Cleveland Guardians team has the audacity to walk Soto in front of Judge. Like, you're out of your mind.
And it somewhat worked. I think they're fine with the result as a sac fly.
Of that at bat, they're fine with the result, but they're not fine with the 2-run homer off Gaddis later. You can't do that.
Oh, dude, I'm eating up like Yankees Twitter right now. Not another video. Oh, I did want to listen to Tim Hill's, but I played too many. I played the Vientos one. But they asked Tim Hill about getting a standing ovation. One of my favorite memories is when Brian Bruni got a standing ovation after like a couple years of being like a body. And he was like, he did. I was at the game and he didn't say hi to the crowd. And I was like, come on, man, the whole place is standing for you. And then the post game, they asked him about it, and he was like, I was crying my eyes out. I didn't want to look up and let people see that. And I was like, oh, that is fucking awesome. But I'll watch it on my own time. It's 2-minute answer by Tim Hill. I don't know his cadence.
Show them some Mountain Dew. Maybe that's what they need. With their bold flavors and refreshing citrus kick, Mountain Dew will get you off your ass. And you know what? It'll make you feel like you're on top of a mountain. Maybe you're on top of a hill. Yeah? Okay. Mountain.
You want me to play it?
Where the weather is always perfect. It was a Tim Hill mountain joke. Mountain where the weather is always perfect. Your friends are ready to hang. And a day of epic proportions await. Whether you're tossing the frisbee, video games, kickball, pickleball, maybe you're in the warehouse playing blitzball. The Mountain is calling. You should answer. Grab your friends, grab an ice cold Mountain Dew wherever refreshing beverages are sold, and do the do.
I'm gonna play this Tim Hill because I want to hear him. People don't know what he even sounds like.
Right.
Have so much success this season, really, but in the postseason.
I mean, a lot of it's just like the vibes down there are really good. We all try to learn from each other, and I think just it's been a good learning environment, so we've all done well.
For you personally, what's worked for you out there? Big 5 outs for you this evening?
Tonight
Same
I was just like
pitch.
trusting my stuff, and then
One-sided.
basically I look at my last however many at-bats against these guys that I've had, and I try to figure out what they're trying to do against me, and then basically combat that.
What did it mean to you to have a standing ovation coming off the field there from the fans?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah.
When was the last time that happened to you to get that kind of reception?
Maybe in San Diego once or twice. But yeah, it was pretty special, especially here at Yankee Stadium.
All right, good for him. Studies the batters, does what they don't want him to do.
Smart.
Shout out to Tim Hill. Should we get to our 3 to 6 players of the game?
I think so.
Is it tough, Jake? I haven't studied the board.
I haven't studied the board.
I have one guy.
Okay.
Big AJ, I should say.
Okay.
Big AJ got 3 RBIs to the sac fly.
Yeah, he does those boom videos, right?
Yeah, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, and
Dude, you could see the dugout relax. You could see the stadium.
Austin
go
Wells
crazy.
had his best at bat of the series after Judge homered. And again, we're properly obnoxious about the sac fly because the Cleveland Guardians did take that as a win. Aaron Judge hitting a sac fly was a win for them.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
He had a 3 RBI game.
And 4 with the Rocchio.
Well, that's the other thing that's funny in hindsight. The Yankees only had 4 RBI technically because the Guardians disaster class.
Yeah.
So Aaron Judge today had 3 of the 4 Yankee RBI.
So he's top star, one of the stars of the game?
Yeah, I think arguably top star.
Okay.
I think top star.
All right.
I think top star.
Do you want to vote to throw a name out there for next sec? Because I have one if you're not ready, but I respect that it's your go.
We just kind of talked about him. He is an argument. I'm going to do, because I don't think we've talked about this guy enough when he's done his exact job, if not even better. I'm going Glaber.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my number 2. 3 hits for Glaber today. His numbers are incredible. His approach is bizarre. Like, hey, he's like, I'm going to swing first pitch. And then sometimes like, I'm just going to take the first 2, no matter what.
Take 3.
3 hits. He scores 2 runs, leads off the game with a double, then has that 2-strike approach versus Gaddis, which gets it to Judge with the runner on. Glaber's been awesome. Also, he's had balls hit to him.
Right.
And he's made every play. And I don't know if he's had to make a tough play, but I mean, hey, this was one of the Glaber botched a lot of easy plays in the regular season, like a lot.
His toughest plays have been like choppers, which hey, if you have a one weird step, it can get weird. But yeah, hasn't been super tested, and that's none of my business.
Yeah,
he's been great as a leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
There's a couple 2-tree left.
Well, do you want me to place my vote?
You can place a vote.
I'm gonna place a vote for Slim Tim Hill.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that his nickname? That should be his nickname.
Slim Tim.
Slim Tim Hill.
Tim Slim?
No, because then you get into Lincecum territory. So you guys say Slim Tim Hill.
1.2, you talked about the extra kind of outs he got for us today. Coming off a day where he gave up the only run.
Most outs by a reliever today, right?
Yes. Got Canely by 1. Yeah, he was going to get a star.
Dude, Guardians fans aren't prepping for Hill to go 1.2 and face the top of their order in a 2-run game.
Guardian fans wish they had a Tim Hill. I mean, it's an exercise for after the series.
Position battle. Quan.
If you did a whole roster.
Quan. J-Ram.
Cade Smith. Class A makes a team. I mean, Clark Schmidt versus Tanner Bybee.
So that's our 3 stars?
That's 3. I think, should he be on there? Dude, I think Rizzo or Volpe kind of need stars.
Oh, I'd give it to Riz.
I think it's Riz over Volpe.
Yeah, I do as well.
The box score would say Volpe would have a slight better argument, but Rizzo just feels more impactful.
Well, because he's got a broken hand.
Yeah.
Nuts. Glaber's had 14 balls hit to him in this postseason. Made all the plays.
Done.
I watched the first 3. They're all very slow choppers. Has he fielded one hard ball? I'm through. This is the 6th one I'm watching, and that's kind of a hot shot from Vinny Pasquantino. Okay, that's a pop-up. That's a pop-up. Okay. Oh, that was a nice play. This was another Vinny Pasquantino hot shot to his right. He had to move a little bit and get it. Yeah. Oh, he turned this double play ball. That's a nice play. Okay, good. Good job, Glaber. Going into game 3, Jake, on the road, it's going to be Clark, correct? Has that that's confirmed? I believe so.
I think so.
It's going to be Clark, and then lineup-wise, before Wells' last at-bat, where he fouled a ton off, ended up not getting a hit. Very Manzardo of him. But it was a good at-bat. I don't think they're going to change it. I still want them to. I want them to put Rizzo in the cleanup spot, and they may, but I'm like, at this point, and I reserve the right to change my opinion anytime, 75%, they just roll it because, like Boone says, it's about getting wins. Wellesley had a good at-bat, and they're like, we want to build off that. But I would still, my vote would be to put Wells behind Judge, because especially if Judge starts going, you want him to see pitches.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna change. I think
now I'm at 80%.
They like their starting lineup. They're winning, and hey, it's where winning is a beautiful thing. That if they keep it like this, okay, you've won 5 out of 6 playoff games at this point. Like, whatever, roll it out there. If they do make changes, it's kind of the same boat. And if that game goes awry, you say, oh, we changed the lineup. I guess just bring back the winning lineup. Or if not, if someone has a nice day for you, but I don't think they're going to sit Wells. Like we talked about a little bit on the live stream, they're going to start Matthew Boyd, and I think he gave them a 5-inning outing at some point. Because, yeah, they were in a playoff series that, like, he could give them an actual start. But they were also hoping for that for Bybee. I know this game felt a little more do or die, but so is the next. That, yeah, I think it's a little bit of like, you guys be the Yankees. Like, make them adjust to you.
Yeah, exactly. Just roll it out there. And is it Boyd for them? Have they announced now?
It's not official, but it's the assumption.
Who else could it be?
I mean, it could just be like bullpen.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
You just can't bullpen that many guys that often. It's not going to work out for you. But they did have some pesky at-bats. So, and Clark doesn't go deep. So I'm interested when there's more relievers needed. Because right now, Wells or Clay and Weaver have pitched every game.
Yeah.
And you need a game where they don't have to pitch. I don't think they're overtaxed if they win a short series. But also, you just kind of like, you need to let them go. Like, it would be nice.
Yeah, I think the Yankees are also going to live a little bit in fear of the 3 straight games. That I think the Guardians' probably best chance at the Yanks is going to be Game 3.
Are you
J-Ram just hit a homer. Quan has been playing well. Naylor had good at bats tonight. Like, they're guys in their lineup that they kind of need to be guys. Have been. They're ancillary pieces. Rocchio's been a solid player, but like, yeah, right now the Yankees feel like they have holes in their lineup, and they're willing to attack that hole in the lineup, even if it means loading the bases. Like,
yeah,
and
who else
that
do they
may
have?
Be the right strategy.
Who else do they have that can give them length besides Boyd? Is Gavin Williams on the roster?
I think he's on the roster. He's a length guy. Lively, who came into this
didn't
game.
pitch in the DS.
I think if I had to guess, I would say Boyd, they're hoping to get a traditional good start. He gave them 4.2 in Game 1 of the playoffs, and he was clean in his 2 innings of Game 5 of the DS, but that was like do or die Game 5, and they love their bullpen. That they're looking for a start from him, and then I guess the interesting storyline is going to be Bybee, because he only threw 39 pitches today. That off day, Boyd, they could be interested in maybe pressing his button again for Game 4. Or at least for Game 5, I would assume.
Yeah. All right.
Don't let it go to 5.
The other question is, if they're facing Boyd, the lefty, does Stanton go to the cleanup spot? You double up Judge and Stanton, and then you could, because you're changing the lineup for that, you could do some other things. One question about having a lefty. But again, their starters aren't long for the game.
Right.
And then rotating lefty-righty is good, so they might just stay. The other thing is I'm still not totally against Birdie getting the start against lefty at third. Keep him in the series. I don't think they're going to do it. Again, I think they're just going to run it back, but I wouldn't
What about at first?
Rizzo can hit lefties, and like Rizzo's been hitting.
Boyd? Decent little split.
Yeah.
Rizzo splits the last 2 years are pretty extreme. The being able to hit lefties seems to have aged out.
Okay.
I believe in Rizzo.
I'd start Rizzo for
I don't think there's a
everything
wrong
he
choice.
does. But Jazz has made every play at third. He's looked really good at third defensively. But if you want to get Birdie or Oswaldo in the game, you or be Birdie to righty Birdie.
I feel like Rizzo would take not starting the game against a lefty with Birdie at first better than the vibes of benching Jazz for John Birdie against a lefty.
Yeah, I think they're going to run it all back.
I would bet that. But
you could do.
They
Trevi,
haven't pressed a button in a minute, which
could
makes
do
me think
Trevi
they're-
for Wells, and then like, hey, it's not that he got moved out of the cleanup spot. He's just getting a day off.
Yeah, I would think that, but I think the Yankees would be scared to like burn their catcher spot.
I don't think they're doing
Like
anything.
they don't have a third catcher right now.
I'm just trying to present options. I don't think they're doing anything. Verdugo's staying. He's great defensively, and he had a great game offensively today. Came up with the RBI on a nice pitch there, and worked a walk. So you hope to keep that rolling. And like defensively, Verdugo can't not be in the game. That's been proven. All right. That everything?
Oh, yeah.
See ya in 2 days. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.